Mānawa mai e a te putanga o Matariki. Mānawa mai e a te ariki nui o te rangi. Mānawa mai e a te mātahi o te tau. Nau mai, tomo mai, ki tēnei whare kōrero, e kia nei, ko Seeds of Matariki. A kāti, tēnā, kia rukutia tā tātou kaupapa, kia ruiruia o tātou whakaaro, ki ngā pūkenga, ki ngā wānanga, ki ngā purapura o Matariki. Ko Matariki tērā e āro mai ana I te pai, te whetū tapu o te tau. Ko Tipuānuku kei runga, ko Hohepa Tuahine, tēnei, e tau nei. Kia koe te parata, kei te pēhā koe māwai.
Pai brother, tino pai. Mō tira e mihi ana kia koe. E mihi ana kia koe I te reo karanga, kia tai mai au ki konei. I tēnei ahi pō. Te pō whai muri ake I te porotehe I nā nahi. Kei konei tonu te kaha mai nā nahi. Hei, tuku I ngā kōrero I te rā nei. Tēnā koe brother, feeling good today. Feeling good. Can't wait to listen to all the kōrero brother. Ki te ka pehea tana noho tahi. Te whakakotahi mai o ngā kōrero. Yeah, so thank you brother, thank you for having me today. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe my bro. Really, really looking forward to our kōrero as well, and I guess hearing more about, ko wai koe, ko wai tēnei tāne, ko wai tēnei hoa rangatira, ko wai tēnei Māori nei. So looking forward to hearing all of that kōrero. So, tuatahi ake bro. Ka tae koe ki te whakamōhio mai ki te hunga. Are mai ana kia tāu e kōrero nei. Ko wai koe, no hea koe.
Oh, kia ora. Kia ora koutou e whakarongo mai ana. Ko hau ko Hohepa Tuahine. Taku pāpā no roto mai o te urewera. Tipu mai ia ki Waikare moana. Kei reira tonu ia I tēnei rā e noho ana. Taku māma no konei no roto rua. He Ngāti whakau e ia no konei no roto rua. Mo tira he pānga no ona no roto mai o ruatoki. Hāmua ki ruatoki. Kumātou tērā. Ko hau tērā. Tipu e ki konei ki roto rua. Te nuinga o ngā tau. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, I tipu ai koe I roto o roto rua, bro. I haere koe ki te kura kihia?
Oh, bro, well, yeah. We moved around a lot more, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, ko mātou tērā. Tētahi whānau e nuku haere ana I te ika Maui. We stayed mostly in the Central North Island. But when my mum and dad were still together when we were younger, I'm talking before 8 years old. Tēnei takiwā nei kaha mātou ki te nuku haere. Ki te whai haere I te mahi a taku pāpā. Yeah, so we moved around and we followed Dad's mahi. Katahi raiwa ka māwehe. And then we started a new life, bro. Ki te taho taku māma. Engari kāri au kati taku pāpā ki waho. He hoki atu, he hoki mai, he hoki atu, hoki ki roto o te urewera. Ki te tui tonu I te hono ki taku taha tūhoi ki reira. Yeah, my bro, we moved around a bit. Te awamutu for a bit. We asked to be moved to Ruatoki, done some time over around Tahane Atua. Before that we were in Rotorua, went away, come back at Rotorua, and then pretty much from my intermediate years stayed here, bro.
Wow.
Tupumahi konei. But didn't grow up in the kura kaupapa movement, brother. Wasn't lucky to come through the kohanga reo movement even, bro. Yeah, a lot of my Māoritanga come back as an intentional decision. Yeah, later on in life, brother.
Wow.
But otherwise, didn't really know what I was up to, I taku oranga. Aku moe a tēnei taku e kōrero nei. Didn't really figure that out till a lot later on, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
Takes a while, eh?
I thought I knew, brother, and I realized later on that I didn't. I think it really started coming into play when I started learning Te Reo Māori, or just started feeling that the void, bro, I te korenga o te reo, I te korenga o taku mōhio, I taku haerenga ki runga I te marae. So I really felt that, bro. And as a young kid, bro.
Were you aware of that void for a little while, bro?
Oh, yeah, for a long time, cuz. Yeah, for a long time. Ka rongo au I nei mea I au e tamariki ana. Yeah, I had an inkling of understanding of what was going on when we would go on to marae for various kaupapa, bro. I did have an inkling of what was going on, but I still knew there was a huge void there. So I knew I belonged, but I still didn't feel like I understood the full breadth of everything, bro. And it took a while for me to understand that I needed to go and actually get that, bro. Yeah. And that didn't happen till mid-20s, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Kanapu haere.
And when you think about, I guess, their time, you know, moving from place to place, you know, because we think about the importance of stability, we think about the importance of having that space to be able to be. But it feels when there's a lot of movement, it's hard to keep track of perhaps where things are going. Did you feel that throughout that time in your journey, bro? Or?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, my bro. Mostly social, mostly feeling you know, mena ka kōrero mō ngā iwi nei, ngā iwi e rua nei. Haere au ki roto atu o tūhoi, ka rau e tino whakapono, ka eke au ki te taumata e ki ai he tūhoi ahau. You know, ena ka hoki mai anō au ki roto mai o te arawa. Ka rau e tino tau ki konei, ne? Nō re ahakoa haere au ki hea, ka rau e tino whakapono, e tika ana taku noho ki konei. Nā ka whakaaro ake ahau I roto I ngā tau poto nei. Just recently I've kind of chased that back to my childhood and to into our constant moving and you're right, my bro, the feeling of instability as a child, but not really knowing where that was coming from or how to actually even remedy that, bro. You know, yeah, we tamariki ana. So
beautiful
all
to have that
happening
though.
now.
Yeah. And has that been helpful now at this stage? You know, you're a papa, you've got your beautiful wahine, tō makau, kia koe kōrua o kōrua tamariki, and you're creating a totally different environment, you know, for your tamariki. And do you feel that your upbringing has been a part of what you're trying to implement in where you are at currently, bro?
100%, my bro, 100%.
So when you said intentional, intentional ne?
Yeah, definitely. Really reflecting on, you know, ngā piki me ngā heke o taku tamarikitanga. You know, it wasn't all bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there was some awesome things too. And I'm aware of the awesome things, and those things are easy to pass on, you know. It's the other stuff.
Because those still get passed on too, in a sense.
Whether or not, my bro, yeah, whether or not. And so that's been my mahi, my bro, really. It's been really intentional and trying to be as aware as I can about what I'm passing down, and how I'm doing that. And the only way I could do that was to actually go back and really be aware and try and unpack my own experience as a child, brother, and my own experience of being parented by my parents. And just trying to level it up, my bro, for our kids. That's pretty much the tirohanga.
I feel inspired by, you know, what you're sharing, because I share similar whakaaro, because you get to a point within your own personal journey where there's a sense of like knowing that there's something going on but not knowing what it is. And it's, for me, it was looking at why are these circumstances happening, not just once, not just twice, but it's happening again. The circumstances change, but I'm the same. But the same results keep happening.
Yeah.
And so that gave me the tirohanga. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. I need to look within, and then oftentimes I need to reflect.
Yeah.
And that's where I was able to have similar experiences where I saw things that I didn't know was contributing to the person that I was. And not only that, it wasn't looking at, like you said, ngā mea e heke. It was also looking at the good things as a way to be able to continue to nurture, you know, my own development and growth, and me being in the space that I am in now, you know, a papa, a horangatira, you know, similar to you. I think it's still so much more important that we continue to develop ourselves as tāne, as Māori, as papa, whatever that may be.
Yeah, definitely, brother, definitely. Oh, I feel you so much on that one, bro. I feel you on that one, bro. You know, our kids also, bro, they're like little mirrors too, you know. Ka whakātu atou I a koe, ne.
Ngā mea kino, nā māma tēnā. Ngā mea pai, no ki tērā.
Tika, bro. You know, and then, you know, mā ko taku hoe ki ana o nā ke te rā, o nā ke tēnei. But that makes it even harder, my bro. You know, ka kite koe I a koe anō, I roto i ngā tamariki. Me taku mōhio, nāku te rai hoatu. Ne, ana mena he mea kino. It's so difficult to watch it all play out, my bro. It's so difficult to watch it play out. But what I have seen is that when I've seen these negative traits on my own, not negative traits, but traits that I would rather not pass on, I see those coming through in the kids, and I change my behavior or my approach, bro, or my philosophy around whatever the kaupapa is. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it does start to change, bro. You know, I've seen that it's actually, you know, not fixable, but it's, you know, totally up to us, and we can mold and we can direct them and arahi as much as we possibly can, you know, that we have control of. And then still trying to let them be themselves. At the
same time.
You know, it's still the balance of letting, because I want them to be themselves as much as they can. But I know that I have to still help them along the way, you know, my bro. And it's just me trying to not pass down things too much, really. Let them still have their own run with the ball, bro, you know, and takahi te huarahi, takahi I tā rātou e takahi nei, you know, kaua I te takahi a pāpā, te takahi rā nei a mama. Haere tonu ki tērā huarahi, engari e hara I te mea me kūkoe I ngā hua pāpā. Kei te pai ohu, tēnā tiki mai ohu. E pai ana, you know, e hara I te mea me whai koe I tā pāpai ki ai, you know, you don't have to be exactly like me, you know, and don't think you have to make me proud by being like me. Making me proud is you being like you. Because if, this is what I say to them, if you're being like you, then you're inherently being like me anyway, you know, and you're inherently being like your ancestors anyway. Heke I hoki a rātou no reira. Yeah, my bro. Just try not to have too much control on the kōrero, the Lego, bro, and the Play-Doh, bro, you know what I mean? And just let them mold themselves, yeah.
So I feel in saying that there's things that we have received from our mātua, and there comes a time where we can look at it and be like, I got that from your papa. But if he ain't going to change, there's no point sort of doing the blame game. It's like, oh, well, you know, this is here now, you know, māku e whakatika. And I think the good thing about that is that if we do the mahi in terms of becoming aware of these traits as we've been talking about, then we are able to pass on something different. And it doesn't include that. And I think the good thing about the expression of our tamariki as well is no matter what, they're going to have challenges. The whakaaro that I have is I hope they're unique to them, not ones that I've failed to work through myself, you know. And so that's a whakaaro that I guess gives me the nudge to continue to become more aware of ways that I can continue to improve.
Yeah, 100% tautoko that kōrero, my bro. So much, man, so much. You know, I remember even talking, actually, probably when our mātāmua, bro, she was probably 5, around about that time. We were all, you know, at that time, we were all still quite worried about the language, bro, generally in general, Māori communities, bro. And so the narrative coming from myself as a father to my kids was from that point of view. You know, it was from a deficit point of view. It was from a point of view where you must learn it, not because you love it, not because it's yours inherently, but because it's running out. And so I remember talking to my mātāmua about that, bro, and she challenged me on it.
Just recently or during that time?
Probably when she was 8. Yeah. She challenged me on it, bro, and she said, ka kiau ki ai, e mate ana te reo tēnā me kaha tātou ki te kōrero I te reo Māori, ako haere ki hea. You know, all these types of kōrero, aki / tohu tohu. You know what, bro? And so, bro, she turns around, ka whakautu mai ia kia hau, and she reckons, Papa, kāre te reo I te mate ki roto I a mātou ngā tamariki ki te kura. She's like, she didn't understand where I was coming from, bro. She didn't have one piece of kōrero there that she could relate to. And there, bro, I was like, wow. They live in a totally different world. They live in a totally safer place. They live in Te Reo Māori, in the bubble that we've created, that our generation has created to incubate the language. And they don't feel that way, my mother, and so I had to really check my own narrative, my own approach there, because I was almost kind of directing it in the wrong way, bro, and so since that point in time, I've been really intentional around listening to the kids.
Wow.
The feedback, bro, homai o whakaro, homai to tirohanga, kia kite au. Yeah,
That's
and I
neat.
grew to, really realize that there was more than one perspective than yours, brother, what I mean? And that was really critical for raising the kids. Yeah.
And did you reply to her then, or did you go away and sit on it and come back? Or
I had to sit on it. Sit on that.
How dare you just give me a bomb?
I was just like, man. And she was totally correct.
Yeah.
It was really me just trying to regulate myself so I could reply appropriately. But she was totally correct. And one side I was blown away and slightly frustrated by how she answered me, because it got to a point where it was quite heated, and she just gave me a left hook, bro, I taia ki te taumata o ngā kōrero. Yeah, bro, and it got to this point where I was just like, wow, I just need to chill out, man. Like, and some of it comes from my own choice of perspective as a student, bro. Yeah, coming through with some great teachers, bro. The greatest teachers, you know what I mean? So lucky to just be sitting with these people. And I just took some of my akoranga in a perspective that wasn't sustainable, bro. It wasn't sustainable. It drove me in the beginning, but it's not sustainable for me, bro. And
well, especially when it comes in and has that kind of creating resistance within your whānau, where that's the opposite of what you're actually wanting to create ne, which is awesome feedback from, hine hui ne.
Ko hine hui. Yeah,
so
mena ki te whakarongo koe mai, darling, ko koe, nā tērā kōrero. Tēnā koe, darling, tēnā koe.
So Te Reo Māori started to fill the void that you had felt for some time, and, blessed to have this Kristin be a part of the same kaupapa, and you fellas came into it and she shared a little bit about your guys' reo journey, and for you fellas to be doing this together, she sort of also shared around the awkwardness at the start, because of you're trying to learn, you're trying to think, you're trying to take away all of the programming around your communication styles, and she said it was like real awkward, for a little bit there. And so when you reflect on your guys' reo journey together, and what were some intricate parts for you that stand out?
With the reo journey? Bro, it even preceded that. It actually preceded meeting Kristin. Yeah, I remember when I was at a point in my life, bro, where I was really hoha o te ao Pākehā. And so I used to, believe it or not, bro, I used to think about a wahine like Kristin, bro. No shit. And I actually think, I'm pretty sure she said she was I te kimi hoki ia I te tāne Māori ne. Koera tā mau e kimi nei. And I remember, bro, like seeing her I te wāhi tūtaki maiwa. I'm not sure if she said where we met, but I'll leave that for her to say. But I remember seeing her, bro, ka kite au I aia, and I was like, I think koe nei te wahine Māori.
I te wā tuatai e kite, bro.
Yeah, straight up, bro, straight up. And ka kōrero mai mo tēnā. And she was like, yeah, and after that, bro, it was all in sync. So I was just like, yeah, piringa kia wehi konei. And so anyway, so ka tūtaki maiwa, and ka mahi maiwa he ngā mahi o te, iwa ki te rima, ki tā maki. I moved from Rotorua, whaiau I taku wahine. So I moved to Tāmaki. And then while we were there, we just had similar values, bro, similar here. And then there was a point where, because it was Kristin actually, and she said, she was like, I want to go and learn Te Reo Māori or something, or tikanga or something. And I was just like, I'm so keen. I was like, I'm so keen. So we went together, my bro. Yeah, haere ngātahi maiwa. We left everything in Tāmaki. Left the work life, left our own whare, left our cars and everything. We went to Pōneke, ki te whai haere Te Reo Māori. And we went to Pōneke to follow the teachers, my bro. Koira. I rongo maiwa mō ngā rangatira I pōneke ka tai maiwa ka whakatiki.
Who was down there at that time?
Koropau was down there then. He was down there then, but he was the main one that pulled us down there. It was Koroua. Yeah. Yeah. And then he left, so ka haere ia ki Waikato. We left,
Just
bro.
followed.
We left, my
We're
bro.
coming.
Yeah, ki te whai au ia Koroua. And then, to be honest with you, my bro, ia I roto I te whare wānanga, I picked all my papers based on my teachers. Every single paper, bro. I wasn't looking for what my major was going to be in or what my work path was going to be in afterwards. I simply picked them for the meanest teachers. And I just filled up my whole timetable with them, bro. Yeah. Nō reira, I wai mari ahau. Mai o taiko taku hoa. Yeah. And so we got to learn that together, bro. I feel like that really amplified our ability to learn quickly.
Yeah, of course.
Haere ngā tahi. Noho ngā tahi ki roto. You know, tuki ngā tahi, bro. Even arguing. Actually, a point in time in our relationship, bro, that I remember distinctively was when we had our first fight in Te Reo Māori.
Hey,
Yeah, bro.
that's
Kanga.
Hey.
Yeah, takahia mai watahi. And I remember, I know that's so sad, but I know that like it was a natural language response, bro. And even afterwards, we were like, God, we was in first argument in Māori. You know, bro. And although it was a big fight, we were still articulate with our words. You know, we could definitely describe our emotions on the fly. You know, back and forward, punch. But it was mean. It was mean from a linguistic point of view. You know what I mean? Not so good for our relationship at the time, but we recovered. You know, we repaired, my bro. We on. Let's go.
Just take a time out. Get some Vaseline.
Yeah, bro, you know. So we used to have like little real geek things over that, my bro.
Yeah.
We definitely geek out when our kids express themselves on the fly, I te reo Māori, especially in the hard times, bro? Angry times, happy times, sad times. If they can express themselves during that moment, oh man, that's a win for me, bro. It's 1,000-pointer. It's a 1,000-pointer for me as a papa. Shit, yeah, bro.
That's so cool. And ko rongo au e tai kōrero, tētahi o kaia ko Rangi, you know, and you're able to be integral and part of the findings and the learnings around Matariki. And so, you know, ko tēnei kaupapa e hāngai ana ki a Matariki. Also aware that you and Kristin and the whānau followed a plant-based kind of way of living for a period of time too. And so, you know, the company that I had and the kaupapa that I had was called Tipuānuku because I was also down there Huarahi. And so few similarities going on there. And so I guess the question or the discussion is, how did that happen for you, bro, in terms of being in that space at that right time, knowing what was going down and then being invited to be a part of, you know, kia rangahaui ngā kōrero e panga kia Matariki?
It was really organic, my bro, me kio. Before I get into the stuff with Rangi too, I just want to say, bro, man, I was following you early on. We were following, bro, you know. We were really inspired by your strength, brother, your courage. Ki te tuku I o kōrero, ki te ao, you know, ahakoa. You know, kamatu ko te iwi Māori, bro, he iwi kai miti. You know, bro, naka ki te au I tō kaha, ki te whakapuaki. Nā I o mā tāpono, bro. And that was really inspiring to us, bro. Me ki au I konei. So we've been fans for a minute, bro. We've been fans. I'm fanning out up in here. Fanning out up in here, my bro. E mihi ana, e mihi tonu ana. With Rangi, Rangi was another kind of meant to be thing for me, bro. I awe noho nei. Met uni. Mohi ai ki tana whānau. E tuatahi ake mohi ai ki tana whānau, te whānau mātāmua, te whānau whakamoe no te waikaukau. So we know each other on a whakapapa level, but I had never met Rangi personally, never before. So I was in one of his classes, bro, maybe one of his 100 level, maybe 200 level classes. Ka tūau ki te whakahua I taku ingoa, and it's pretty much since then. I was like, kia ora ko Hohepa Tuahine taku ingoa. I remember Rangi going, okay, in the ka noho au. It wasn't even much mihi, bro, but it was just like, oh, okay, mohi ai koe koe. And pretty much since then, bro, I've been working with Rangi, Not necessarily formally either, my bro. It's been quite a organic relationship, beautiful relationship with my bro. He's probably my uncle or my koro, but he's almost like a older brother to me, my bro. You know, I roto I aku whanaketanga reo, tikanga, mātauranga. And I've never said that to the bro, so bolos mena ki te whakarongo koe, tēnā koe kei taku tuakana, tēnā koe I oho maitanga maha nei ki a hau o tira ki taku whānau, tēnā koe my bro. So from then, I just hung out with Raniera. Hung out no tahi maiwa, mātou actually, mātou ko he mi whanga, mātou ko Rangi, ko te kāhautu e tahi wā, I roto I te rātari, e nei rangatira nei bro. Ko tāpau te mara, ia te rā, ko hau kei te noho ki te taho e nei rangatira. It just falls off onto my brain when I ka no tai koe ki te taho rātou. And so, I kept learning with Rangi, and then he offered me a scholarship to work alongside them for my master's, bro, after my BA. BA in Te Reo Māori. And I wrote my master's in Te Reo Māori on Te Whare Kōkō Rangi. And my job pretty much, brother, for that was to find all of the fragments of astronomical knowledge, bro. They were all scattered, They're still scattered to this day. Rangi's doing an awesome job in collating everything and making it a more digestible piece to read and comprehend, bro. You know, before that, it was a lot of sifting through tirohanga Pākehā tuhinga. That was the hardest one. So I didn't dig into much tuhinga Pākehā, bro. I went straight to karakia, mō te aotea, most that come out of tāpira rangata's set of waiata. And my job was to make some sense of all of the fragments, my bro. Yeah, whakakotahi mai I rā, kimi te ingoa whetū, if there was any whakahuatanga mai o tētahi o te whānau marama. Yeah, not just stars, but anything to do with the sun, the moon, comets, meteors, aurora, all of that was collated, and my job was to make sense of it, bro. And, yeah, and so I wrote about it in Te Reo Māori. I intentionally chose to write in Te Reo Māori. Because at that time, bro, there was a lot of non-Māori teaching about Matariki. Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago, my bro. 2015 maybe. Yeah, 10 ago. I think Rangi. I don't even think Matua Rereata was pretty much out there during that time. It was pretty much Rangi out there, bro, spreading his Ao Māori version of Matariki. Yeah, and its relevance to Te Ao Māori. Yeah, bro.
And do you feel at that time or during that whole time of being around, you know, e nei tohunga, e nei kaiako, is that where your hunger for mātauranga started, bro? Or had you always sort of been keen and curious to learning? And
I've always been really interested in te iwi Māori, bro. Yeah, just in general. Anything at all, really. Anything from our voyage here. That section alone, you know, before getting to Aotearoa, that section, that kōrero, it's amazing, bro. So many variations. So I've always been interested about us as a iwi. Yeah, how did we get here? How do we thrive here? Yeah, what enabled us to thrive here, develop culture, beautiful culture, you know, sustain a language, sustain karaki over generations without a written book. You know, my bro, and those things really interested me. Before going to uni, I was a kai person, bro. He mahi kai taku mahi. Yeah, that really connected me to mātauranga, and in particular anything to do with kewai, like fresh water, mahinga fresh water. Katoa ngā mahi o te wai Māori. That's what I enjoyed the most. Yeah. Later on in my years, I started venturing out into the ocean.
Wow.
But I'm definitely tua whenua Māori, my bro. Ki roto I ahau, yeah.
I kimi koe I etahi mātauranga that was like stand out to you, or whether it was like a pūrākau that just connected like a few dots?
Yeah, definitely, bro. I have to say, ngā kōrero, probably te kōrero a Maui me tana ika. Yeah, that's probably that was a turning point for me when I really understood that there was more for Māori language speakers to unpack within the leftover oral narratives that were still around, bro. So like in Mō Te Aotea and in Karakia, there was a way more depth of knowledge in the language and in the kupu I whakamahi ara e ngā mātua tipuna, tēnā i ngā whakapākehātanga. And what happened anyway, bro? Somebody told me the story about Te kā Maui and how Maui fished up the North Island. And I remember I was talking to, it was Te Rāwhitiroa, it was my bro Te Rāwhitiroa, I te kōrero e ki aia, mō tā Maui hi mai I tēnei motu, te motu Te kā Maui. And we were talking about it, bro, and I remember us talking about it, and he was like, bro, I don't think Maui actually fished it up with his hook, bro. I think he actually discovered it. And so we started having kōrero around the kupu and what they meant, you know, and it wasn't necessarily about him fishing up the ika, it was more so about him discovering the ika or discovering the North Island. And so we started talking about navigation and who really discovered the North Island, and was it really Kupe, you know, and was it Maui, or was Maui maybe the first person to discover the North Island? And metaphorically it was stored in the stories and in the pūrākau as him fishing it up, but it was in fact him discovering it. Yeah, my bro. And so that was a real turning point for me and from that point on I started looking at kōrero tuku iho I roto I Te Reo Māori with a more open mind.
Wow.
And just really looking at the possibilities of each kupu and the different variations and the meanings of each kupu, bro. Yeah.
So this could be a metaphor, but you know, what's the kōrero? You know, is that sort of where you started to decipher, I guess, more of the pūrākau or kōrero that you're now interested in? Or
I just try and make it make sense for me, bro. Kia titi tērā ki roto I taku hinengaro. For me as a learner, it has to make sense for me, for it to be stored, and I find a way for it to make sense, my bro.
That's cool.
So that was one of the ways on how I would try and retain kōrero, bro. And so what I used to do was I really used to try and think of the environment and try and come up with a horopaki of how they used to live, and then try and understand the kōrero while placing myself in the horopaki. Yeah, bro. And it makes more sense, you know. You get a better outlook on maybe what they were trying to leave behind, if they were trying to leave behind anything, you know.
Yeah, bro. Was that like whakaaro Māori in action, bro? Doing that kind of thing around you're looking at a kōrero, you're learning something, and you're placing yourself in the likely context of why that came out? Is that a way of describing whakaaro Māori, or if not? Nah. Well, bro, I have no idea.
Ke te ako tonu, my bro. Korepe e mutu te ako. I was just really trying to, because I'm intrigued, bro. I'm fully, I have one wish, bro. If I had one wish, I'd love to go back in time, stand at Maketu and watch the waka come in. Yeah, bro, and just see what they look like, bro. See what they were wearing. You know, were they smart? Were they happy? You know, were they flourishing on the waka? Or were they scrapping? Were they over it? You know what I mean? And I'd love to follow them as they, you know, takahi haere te whenua. That's one of my big dreams, bro. So I really, whenever I'm in mātauranga Māori mode, I always try and put myself in that time.
Wow.
Yeah, whether it's in the 1600s, or it's in the 1350, whether it's Polynesia, I always try and recreate that, bro. And it gets me, I feel like it gets me closer to the message or to the kōrero. Yeah, I'm trying to read.
That's beautiful.
The way to do it, my bro.
Yeah,
you know?
that's cool.
I know that if I was there with them, they would tell me what it is. And so I just try and put myself there, bro. Yeah.
That's a cool way of retaining, and I guess a good way of learning, you know, essentially. And so when we think about Tipuānuku, you know, hea ngā kōrero, kei o whakaaro, ai tēnei wai pāna ki tēnei whetū.
Tipuānuku, yeah. Koe rā hoki taku tūtakihanga ki Te Ao Māori, my bro. That was my introduction to Te Ao Māori, was via gardening. Yeah. He whānau, you know, he whānau mahi māra mātou. You know, some whānau are like, he whānau pakanga tērā, you know, and some, he whānau kapahaka tērā. Mātou ko taku whānau, he whānau mahi kai, he whānau mahi māra, ka mutu he ringa toi, artists katoa mātou, yeah. Ahakoa te ringa, ahakoa te wahapea, he waiata te mahi, he aha rānei. So very early on, bro, it was common practice for me to be in the garden with my mum, and we'll be back at Waikare, you know, on Rākau Nui, and so I've got an old connection with Tipuānuku, bro, and Tipuānuku was the catalyst for me to start learning about maramataka early on as a kid. I remember going out with my uncle, bro, and planting gardens in the evening, bro. You know, yeah, ka whiti mai a Rākau Nui, and we're out there. Yeah, and so we wouldn't be doing it in the day, especially if we were going to be planting on Rākau Nui. As soon as the marama would rise up on the pai, that's when we go, bro. It's
out there,
bright, it's quiet. And then we have all the other kōrero that a lot of us know about these days, like the ability of and the shift of the water table during those times, and the suitability to be putting seedlings and you know, kai into the ground during that time. So yeah, definitely, bro. Probably in a more recent time, my connection to Tipuānuku, the star, has been quite different, bro. Totally different from when I was a kid. Mostly because of the mahi that we've been doing, bro. You know, the mahi connected to spreading awareness around Matariki, spreading the Māori perspective of Matariki, bro, and really trying to debunk some of that kōrero, and some of that was quite hard, brother, for me, you know, coming up. I roto I ngā tau tatanei, ngā tau mo e whāpea. Yeah, bro, so I do have this kind of mixed relationship with Matariki, bro, where I understand its huge impact on us as a people, not just today, but through the years to come, bro. I know it can't have but positive ripples for our people in the future. For me, I still feel some of the hard mahi, bro, that went in during the time, trying to convince people, you know, koe nei tō tātou, o tātou atua, koe nei pēr tētahi huarahi hei whakaora I te Ao Māori. Tētahi huarahi. Yeah, tētahi, bro. You know, so there's heaps of different ways, but I'm still working through that, my bro. Yeah, taku hononga ki tēnei whetū. Engari e mohi ana hau he hua kei roto. Ka kore pia au e rongo I te katoa o ngā hua, engari ngā reanga kei raro ka rongo rātou.
Ka rongo
That
rātou.
drives me, cuz. That drives me.
And has that green finger gone down to your tamariki, bro? Are they being into the garden? Has that sort of been one of the good things that have been passed
I'd like
down?
to say yes, my bro. I'm going to say yes on the record right now. But they join me, bro. They join me in the garden, you know, ka whai haere mai rātou, and that's all I'm looking for. I'm not really looking for any crazy feats for them within the garden itself. I'm also just looking to develop that connection, bro. Yeah, so they remember it, and yeah, I'm not looking for them to be great gardeners yet.
No.
Actually, my bro, Rāwhiti Roa again, popping up in my kōrero. He was the one, bro. Ko ia te mea ako I hau ki te mahi māra. Yeah.
Gee.
Ka mihi aku tamariki kia koe, my bro.
Probably in a metaphorical way of looking at it, we might not be planting seeds I roto I te whenua, but he hāngai ana ki tēnei whare kōrero, bro, planting seeds o whakaaro. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You're still planting seeds, bro.
Still planting seeds.
We need to plant another good 200,000 seeds to 1 million Māori, my bro, very soon.
Let's go. We're on the way. And so what I think about as well, bro, you know, Kristin sort of spoke about just how handy you fellas were immersed in creating kaupapa in the production space. And recently there's just sort of like been a pullback to return to South Te Whānau, to more of the things that you fellas know are important, but perhaps were disconnected from for just a little while there. And so, you know, for you, was that something you had realised along with her, or was that something that took you a little while to adjust back to, or like how ho whakaaro e pāna ki tērā, bro?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, my bro. It's been a hell of a ride. And again, bro, extremely lucky to be able to do it with my wife at the same time. 18 years, bro. 18 years. 2 to go. Yeah, bro. It's been pretty hearty. It's been pretty hearty me kia I konei. Auntie's a bit ahead of me. I roto I ngā mahi nei. I'm totally different to Kristin, bro. Totally opposite, cuz. You know, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're totally opposite, bro. But there's some things, especially in regard to coming back to self and healing old things, stuff like that. There's stuff that has to be done, my bro. So although it's maybe not be something that felt comfortable doing, I definitely knew that it had to be done. And kei te kite i ngā hua i tēnei wā, kei te kite i tēnei hua i ngā hua, bro. And so it's been hard, bro. You know, mahi and
Mahi papa.
Perspective shifts, you know what I mean, bro? And values are shifting and time is speeding up. You know, bro.
To that. Holy.
Yeah, man. It's sometimes, bro, it can be just extremely overwhelming, bro, you know? And it's really, I've been learning lately, I mean in the last 2 years. That's the lately these days. Ko taku kaha ki te whakatau i ahau, bro. Te kore rānei kaha ki te whakatau i ahau. Yeah, straight up emotional intelligence, bro, has been on the menu for the last 2 years. Yeah. Really trying to, bro, going back to self, looking at my behaviors, why I behave in particular ways, finding where that comes from, giving time to it, bro, you know, acknowledging it, acknowledging whatever the nawe is, because it usually comes from a nawe, from a scar, you know, my bro, te tahi mamaitanga roa. And really for me, my bro, recently it's been finding whether or not it's something that I experienced in my lifetime or whether or not it was a hereditary piece of information that I've been able to talk to finally, brother.
Wow.
I mean, and so that's been the big wānanga for me internally. And again, bro, it's a wānanga where it is just self, bro. You know, I can't ask anybody, you know, for this. And if it was something that was passed to me, I'd have a conversation with those who may have passed it down to me, and even they are not aware of what they've passed down to me. And so it's totally on me, bro. And that's been the hardest thing. It's been, again, detaching my bro, you know, and having a sit down with just myself. You know what I mean? Because I've been so lucky to grow with people that I love and always have somebody there that I love, bro, you know, and to bounce off or to challenge even, bro, or to ally with. And sometimes it's no one, brother, it's you, bro, you know, kei te korero kia hau anō. Yeah, bro, so the self-conversations is are cracking right now, they're happening.
I have a term that I sort of reflect on when I'm in similar spaces, and, you know, I've been really curious about myself, like really intentionally, perhaps for like the last 6 or 7 years, like a little while, when like it feels like a path that just doesn't stop. But a term that comes to mind for me when, you know, I'm feeling overwhelmed or whatever it may be is just carry the maunga. You know, I just feel like I'm carrying a maunga sometimes, and you just sort of either want to just rest or whatever it may be, but in my mind I've sort of like changed that into, bro, you know, you're carrying this maunga, and realizing that I am the maunga as well. And it's been like it's been comforting in a sense to know that there are ways that we can look at things differently to better ourselves. And what I've also think might be helpful for you, our listeners, is in these times, it's important that we, if we were to wanting to improve an aspect or quality within ourselves, or we want to overcome something, it's important that we elevate ourselves to be in a good state, āhine ngaro ā wairua, and then we look at it, as opposed to feeling low and trying to deal with it, not feeling so great about things, because it's hard to see a solution or a different perspective when you're looking at it from one view. But if you can feel great and using gratitude or whatever it may be, and then you look at it, it's a totally different lens. And that's where we get detachment, is we can detach because of a different perspective. And I've used that many times in blockages throughout my journey, or that needing to heal, is I can't heal it if I'm feeling that way. I need to actually be around others or make myself feel good in some way. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, Man,
Totally.
and creating just a different relationship with myself in that way has just been really helpful for my own personal journey.
Oh, that's so good. Tēnā koe I ngā kōrero āwhina mai, bro. Definitely use that one. After you've just said it, I'm like, I'm like, totally. And that's totally me, bro. You know, I te wā ka tino, kei raro au e putu ana, you know, I au e tino raru ana. I do try and remedy it then, bro, you know. Ka whakamātau hau ki te whakatika-tika, ki te aha, ki te ruku, ki te rangahau rānei. And you're right, bro, it's a grind. You know, it's a grind. So tēnā koe, bro. Totari rānei kia
Taxing me, almost.
Taxing,
super taxing.
Taxing, bro. Got enough tax on us at the moment.
Oh, bro. Kōrero on that. And so, yeah, when we think about, you know, te pai tawhiti, bro, you know, how e tahi whāingo, how e tahi kitenga mou, mo tō whānau. When you think ahead and you think about yourself, you think about your whānau, you know, what feels like something that'll give you a sense of ease or toe, knowing that, yeah, that vision there gives me a sense of inspiration, but when we get there, I know we're definitely more so on the path of where we want to be.
Yeah, kia ora, bro. What a pātai. What a pātai, bro. One of the things that I've always been quite strong about with my kids is making sure that they're comfortable with having an open mind around situations. If I could do that as a papa, you know, if I could raise children where they're open to questioning things, they don't just follow for following's sake, you know, ka āta whakaaro, ka āta rangahau, I feel like I'd be happy from a father's point of view.
That's cool.
But I really just want, I just want to be Māori, my bro. I just want to be comfortable. I want to be Māori. I want to be on whenua Māori. And I want to live how I want to live with my kids, bro. As Māori. I don't want to have to do any other thing that we don't necessarily want to do, bro. From mahi to anything really that we don't want to do, bro. I really want to instill that mana motu hake down to that base level.
Cool.
Where it's not around politics as such, or it's not around economic gain as such, but more so around just making our own decisions, and in that same sense, almost just getting to know themselves or ourselves as a whānau as we grow, bro, but giving us that Māori space to do so, bro. And I feel like that's something that I feel would be super healing for us as a whānau, bro, and would ripple outside through to our immediate and wider whānau structures, my bro. And at this time, I'm really just trying to demonstrate to our kid how to be functional as a hapu, bro, really. How to be functional, how to really whakatauira I tērā. And just down to simple things, brother, not nothing crazy, you know, just can we sit as a whānau? Can we conduct ceremony as a whānau? Can we go to the marae as a whānau? Can we be organised as a whānau? And can that not overwhelm us as a whānau? You know what I mean? And can that help us grow as a whānau? And I'm really just trying to demonstrate that, my brother. And if I can demonstrate that, then I think kotahitanga across our families will be seamless for the next couple generations, which hasn't been really there for us, bro, as a whānau. Yeah.
Wow.
Me taku mohi o karepe pai tērā kōrero ki taku whānau e whakarongo nei. Engari kare au hara mai ki konei ki te huna i te kōrero. Mēnā ka rongo aku tamariki i nei kōrero, ka whai hua ki a rātou aku tamariki. Bro, koira, kua toa tātou.
Wow. As you're talking, bro, and I think even just being closely connected to yourself and Kristin, especially, you know, over these recent months, when you're sort of like saying, te wae kōrero ana koe ki au e pāna, you know, you've been watching me for some time, you know, e rāhua fanning I roto nei, and I feel that way about you two, you know. I really feel that way about you two and your guys' whānau, what you guys are doing, the journey that you have been on. I feel like man, yous are walking their path, yous are leading the way, and I just feel like a tauira. I feel like someone who is just there and observing so much, and I see the mātāpono, I see how you guys are, and I'm like, man, you guys are modeling beautiful Māori to me, and, getting a little bit emotional in a sense, because I really do feel happy to be around the two of you and to have got to know you fellas and how open you guys have been, how supportive, how GYB you are in a sense. And so, I just wanted to let you know that. And, I've let Kristin know that a lot, but I just really feel the value. I feel the aroha, I feel the manaki, I feel the genuine support. It's not just, yeah, cool, bro, there's an actual bro, and that feels great. And I just wanted to acknowledge you, all of the highs and lows, but whatever journey that you are on, there are people, as you sort of see, that are watching, that are observing, and I'm one of them. So, I runga I tērā, bro, māku e whiu atu te rākau ki a koe, kia whakakapi e nei kōrero. So if you have any final words, bro, kia koe te wā.
Kia ora, brother, tēnā koe. Tēnā koe I karanga mai ahau kia tai mai ki konei. Me mihi au ki te hunga I whakapakeke mai ahau I roto I ngā tau, bro. And it wasn't just one person. But there were a lot of people that played a part in me as an individual, bro. Tainua ki tēnei rā. There's a lot of people to thank, bro, from my immediate family on my mum's side, to my father's side, to my father himself, to my mother herself, to their parents, and even into new spaces, bro, like my new nakawhiti space, my people that are keeping me strong and letting me be able to mahi, you know what I mean, bro, and giving me the kaha to keep going. And I just want to thank everybody, bro. E tino rongo ana te ngākau I te aroha I taku iwi, I ngā iwi o te rai taku wahine. Tainua ki te iwi o taku wahine. Tainua ki te iwi o Ngāti Kahu o Ngāti Tara. Ki roto o parapara. Rātou katoa, bro. They've all played a integral role, bro, in helping me grow as a human, bro. And to hear you say that you also see that too, brother, as a testament to everybody who has helped me flourish during the years, brother. No reira, e mihi anau kia koe o tira ki a rātou katoa, e whakarongo mai ana. True, my bro.
Tēnā koe, my bro. And thank you again for just being across there on that turi, sharing your story and taking us on a huarahi. And yeah, like I said, bro, a tāhua rawa atu ngā kōrero. He orite ki tō wairua, ki tō āhua. No reira, me mihi ka tika ki a koe. Me no tira, kia koutou katoa e whakarongo mai ana to all the listeners, to all the supporters. Tēnā koutou, aotira tēnā tātou.
Kia ora, my bro. Toi tū te tiriti.
Toi tū te tiriti.